All right. We'll see if I'm actually doing this right. Y'all bear with me. Let me get this other line, this other platform going. All right. Well, welcome. Uh, Let me say it again. Welcome to Let's Talk. Hopefully, I'll get some people to join in here with me momentarily. For those of you who have not joined before or logged in, my name is Victor, and I live in Riverside and San Bernardino. And I know that if we as a people don't come together, we're not going to be able to get nothing done. There's so much going on. So I had to figure out a way to try to pull men together. So I figured, let's talk. Let's begin to talk about what the struggles are that we're facing, one with another, that we could encourage one another, that we could support one another, that we could come together in a real way, because it's time now that we take a stand together to save the next generation, the next group of boys turn into men, those that are lost in their way, that we can try to be a support system, not just in words, but in deed. See, I have a vision of helping young men that didn't finish high school get their GED and get employment, become entrepreneurs, get out of the streets. But I've come to understand as I've gotten better myself, as I found a higher power, for me is my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. But I'm not trying to convert anyone to anything they don't believe in. I do this because I feel I need to do this for me. It's the right thing for me. But I remember when I was younger, there was other things that I did that weren't right. And I did them for me, but I believed they were right. So if we have enough men coming together to mentor and support and help this generation, I believe we can make a difference. See, I grew up in San Bernardino, and it was known for a lot of things that were not considered to be good. But now I know better, and I'm back here in the town trying to bring this thing back in order. I just want people to know that we don't have to live the way we live unless we want to live that way. And I say that because I don't have to live the way that I live unless I make my mind up to live this way. And that's the same thing for those that are in the streets, those that are using drugs, those that are robbing, stealing, and killing. I'm not judging nobody. But you have a choice, and I want you to know you have a choice today. I want men to come together and band together to make a way for those of us who have been successful enough to get out of the way, and we're still breathing. that we form a coalition. I want you to become a part of San Bernardino Collaboration, where we bring businesses and entrepreneurship and apprenticeship programs together. And all I can say is we don't need nobody that's not sincere with their intent to get this job done. I know I can't do it alone. The motto for San Bernardino Collaboration is together we do more, because we can. Many hands make the job easy. Wisdom comes in a multitude of counsel. We got to begin to hit the streets and talk to these young men and have activities and entrepreneurships and figure out how to subsidize their income from what they're doing on the streets. But we need them to understand that they got to become legit and quit. These are the conversations this whole platform is built for. And if you want to be a part of this, all you have to do is just tap in. I believe I have everything set up for you to post something or chat, reach out to me, DM me, and I'll get with you. This Sunday at 434 West Highland, we're having a Hallelujah night. We're going to have some candy and games and food and a jumper for the kids, a couple raffles and some contests, because we want these kids that are growing up now to have positive environments to dwell in. But that's just the introduction of what I'm trying to do. Tonight, I just want to talk about fear. See, I know what fear is because it had me in a chokehold. And I remember when all I could do was pretend I wasn't afraid. I believe anything that could have happened to a man trying to survive has happened to me. My story is a long one, and I'm not going to get into that tonight. But I know what fear is, because fear is for many different things to many different people. For me, I was afraid of not having food for my family to eat. I was afraid to not be looked upon as someone that had it well together in the way that we feel we should be perceived in the streets. So every moment, trying to make some money, trying to be fearless, but gripped full of fear. Wondering if it was going to be my last day breathing. Wondering if I was going to get shot again. Wondering if I was going back to prison. Wondering what was going to happen next. See, we got to know, and we have to first name the issue before we can contend with it. Before I went to prison, I wasn't afraid to go into jail. Before I got shot, I wasn't afraid to be shot. But being shot multiple times and being incarcerated multiple times, you begin to fear that. Let's be honest tonight, right here. Don't nobody want to go to jail. Don't nobody want to go and deal with no whole bunch of men all day and all night and a whole bunch of guards trying to be hard. Eating food that you wouldn't feed a dog, or eating a top ramen or a spread, as we called it, with some oysters or some tuna or some beef jerky, or open up a can of beef stew and some crackers from a package, maybe getting some ice from somebody out the kitchen. See, that was something nobody wanted to endure, but it was like, we're going to call it okay because we had to do that. But what about when the yard got locked down? What about when the riots came and they started grabbing people? I always wind up one that would get grabbed and took down the ad said. Some of y'all know what I'm talking about. Locked in the dungeon. Metal showers in the middle of December. Walking around, if any clothes on, your drawers and your socks. Handcuffed to the shower and back. And it's only 10 feet away. 23-hour lockdown. That'll drive you crazy after you done did 1,000 or 2,000 push-ups. And you sitting there and you can't do nothing but sit there. You ain't got nobody to talk to but yourself and reflect on life. It gets real then. But see, so many people will go and they'll do time and they'll come back and they'll talk about, oh, that wasn't nothing. Well, we need to stop lying about it. We need to be honest about it. Because you weren't there because you wanted to be, and if you could have gotten out, you would have got out. You seeing your homies on the yard, your homeboys from your neighborhood on the yard, and you're just going along with the program. You're going to the bars, or you curling some water bags or some buckets of sand. You may even get a job outside the yard, and you out there where they done moved the iron pile too, and you're just trying to make the day go by, but you still locked up. Christmas come, ain't no celebration. Thanksgiving come, ain't no celebration. You still doing time. And you're going to do time until you finish it. But see, we need men to begin to talk about what's real. Let's quit talking about me and the homies. We had some spreads and it jumped off and we did this and we did that. But were you afraid that somebody that you didn't see got close enough to you to put that plastic in your rib cage or in your neck, that key suit that they got through the metal detector in the chow hall, and they coming for you? See, that's what I want to talk about with some men. Let's talk about what it's like to be shackled up on that bus for 4 and 6 hours and eating some spoiled bologna sandwiches, if you get anything, when you got to go out to court. Let's talk about that. That ain't nothing nobody want to do. But when you take it for what it is and you understand it, you begin to do something different. Because you can say what you want, and many have, but when you get incarcerated and it's time to go to jail, you're fearful that you will ever make it back out. Because many have went and never came home. If you didn't die, if they didn't die or get killed in there, they caught more time than they can do. See, I got some brothers on the other side of the wall that's been gone a long time, 40 years, 45 years, 20 years, 28 years. And they're fearful that they ain't gonna never come home. Fear. You gotta name it before you can address it. Afraid of being the provider, not having the money to pay the bills, not having the money to feed your family. But in the midst of that, you still got to go out to them streets, hoping that you don't get shot, robbed, put in jail. I'm talking about real fear. But so many people act like they're fearless because there's a persona about a man that's scared. There's something about being less than the next man and holding your own. I'm just asking for the men that want to tell the truth and talk about how you overcame those obstacles and those situations in life, how you came to the point in your own personal life that you weren't afraid of failure, because the true road to success is lined with failure. You better believe you're going to fail before you succeed. And that's what so many people are afraid of. You do something your whole life, 10, 15, 20, 30 years. Then you stop and start something else. You don't think that's fear? What if you're not able to keep that job? You're going to lose your clout. You're going to lose your spot. You're going to lose your thriving, your ability to thrive in the street because you didn't laugh. But it comes a point to where you got to overcome that. And that's what I want people to know today, that whatever you're doing, you don't have to keep doing it if you don't want to. There is another way. And I know that many will come. Together we do more. And I'm going to keep saying it because together we do more. But it takes some people that are really ready to do more. Not just talking about it. Anybody and everybody talking about it. But when are we as men going to come together and begin to do something about the generation of boys that are coming behind us? Fear of not being able to communicate with another generation. Fear of not having the ability to support and walk with somebody and relate to them. Fear is everywhere. But if it's harnessed right, it can become a strength. Because if that is the case, you are determined to succeed and overcome. I go down these streets in San Bernardino and I just look at what it's become. And so often I pull over and I talk to the young men that are trying to find their way. And oftentimes than not, I find that there is no positive role models in their lives. They don't know their father, or their father is not around, or they're already in the streets and they've been in the streets. And I talk to them and I plead with them and I try to help them get employment. Try to talk to them to get their high school diploma or their GED or go get a certificate of some kind and get a job. Try to help them with housing. Because if we can change one, we've done well. But it's not going to happen without us coming together and living the example. Not no east side, west side, north side, south side, not no blood, not no Crip, not no Sereno, not no Northerner, not no Bulldog. Quit playing. All that is wrapped and clothed in fear of not being accepted. And I know some of y'all gonna see this, and I'm more than welcoming all comments, but some of y'all gonna see this and it's gonna be a whole bunch of this, that, and the other. But I'm telling you now, we're always trying to fit in. We're always afraid of not being part of the in crowd. But real leaders, real men, they make their own path. And your success isn't contingent on how no one else feel or think about you. I know here at the San Bernardino collaboration here, We have housing. We have employment assistance, education assistance. We have opportunity for you. If you need some help, we can help you. But I need some men to begin to step up and come hang out with me. Let's talk about it. Let's make some men events possible. Bring in some speakers. And there's a whole bunch of us that can speak life into these young men that are dying with no guidance. I know as I continue to do these live talks, you'll be able to join in and listen to some of the interviews that I will be doing with some career criminals that have changed their careers. Some men that have done more time than you are old. Because we got to talk about it. We got to begin to understand that there's another way. Times are getting tight. People are getting locked up and killed for very little to nothing at all now. It ain't the same no more. And we have to get better. We got to quit believing the indoctrination that we've been consumed by and the influence that has led us astray. I know when I got shot, I thought I was going to die. After the adrenaline stopped pumping and after I got done picking buckshot out my chest, I was like, oh, I'm tough now. But 30 minutes, an hour, a day before, I thought I was going to die. Afraid that was going to be my last day. And after that, I forgot about the fear until I got shot again. See, it's things that happen in our lives that get our attention. And there's times in life that we got to come together as one to get the attention of many. So I'm challenging you, men, to tap in. But you got to be transparent and true. If you're still getting down, I can't do nothing with you. But if you're trying to transition, come on, bring it. Together we do more. Let's tell them how it really is to be incarcerated and locked up. Or you see somebody get stuck in the net. Or you laying face down in the middle of winter in 2 feet of snow for hours on end because y'all are down. Or you hear that dreaded sound of the tower, that gunner shooting down on the yard, anything moving. It ain't no joke. But everybody come home and they want to talk about how they did their time and how they was just hanging out and kicking it and being in riots and doing this and that. But you don't tell them about those lonely nights in the cell. When you hearing men crying down the road. And sometimes the one crying is you. When you're missing your kids' birthdays or your mama's birthday. See, I thank God today that I had enough mercy to make it home right before my father passed and again right before my mother passed. But I remember a whole bunch of Christmases and Thanksgivings and birthdays that I couldn't even call because I was in ad seg. But maybe I'm the only one. Maybe it was okay for everybody else. Maybe I had a special trip or two or three. I just want to keep it real with you. But I ain't going to keep you until we begin to really peel back the layers of life. Again, if you're not doing nothing on October 31st, we're having a hallelujah night at 434 West Highland Avenue. Bring the kids out and get some candy and not have to worry about nothing being in it, and play some games, and there'll be a jumper and a DJ, and we'll have little contests and raffles. We're going to have a good time. Feed the kids. October 31st, about 5 or 6 o'clock, we'll be getting started. 434 West Highland. Same address I office in. If you want to come by and talk about getting your GED or getting a job or getting some housing, come by and see me. I'm here Wednesdays and Saturdays. Come by and see me. Let's talk about it. It's time for a change. And unless we all come together, it's not going to be enough. We can do our own thing, but then the circle is encompassing one. But if we do it together, we can build a community that help people when they're struggling. Because every success out there, every person that succeeded out there, somebody helped you along the way. Somebody helped you get to where you are now. Let's not forget the humble beginnings. Let's not fail to look back and pull somebody forward. It's time to do what we know is right. For those that came and left and those that are still here, just want to tell you, God bless you. And if you know anybody that can find any purpose or good in being a part of this, share the information. Have them come on out. Have them reach out. Let's talk about it. Wisdom is in a multitude of counsel. Wishing you all a great evening. And I'll be going on these platforms again live on the 5th of October. If you're somewhere that you can sit down on the 5th of October and chime in, chat, send a text, a direct message, please do so. But until then, be safe, keep your head up, and don't be afraid. Because fear, we have nothing, what does it say? We have nothing to fear but fear itself. Be afraid of nothing. Because there's only one judge. And if you put your heart to it and your mind, and you are determined, you will overcome. I know that I may have told you the 5th of October, but I meant the 5th of November. Excuse me. The 5th of November, 6 p.m. And every 2 weeks thereafter. I know one thing, that it's going to happen one way or another. Have a wonderful evening. And I'll see y'all in a couple of weeks. Again, you can direct message me or come by the office at 434 West Highland in San Bernardino. I'm here in the office on Wednesdays and Saturdays, waiting for you. Have a good one.